Alrighty, welcome back everybody to the Replay Sunday. We're getting through game number 3 next between Bancho and Durotan's Couch. I'll be your caster today, and I am joined by my good friend Munkus, who changed his icon for us today.
Had to keep it classy.
And that is one classy beaver. That, man, can I say that? That sounds so, I don't know. Anyways.
I think you're good.
Thanks very much. I should have called some of these out earlier, but thanks very much to Rip the Jacker, OGGO, and Ronan for the follows today. Hope you're enjoying the casts. We've had some interesting, entertaining games today, and Munkus was just talking earlier about some of the new heroes that we're seeing a little bit more of.
Yeah, today we've seen Kel'Thuzad, Sylvanas, and Arthas, where before the patch I didn't see them really much at all. And then we got a Mephisto game, which was almost unheard of before.
Yeah, so definitely seeing some things that are a little bit different. So game number 3 here, this is a C East game. Durotan's Couch, if I remember correctly, was in Division B last season. Bancho was in Division C last season. So they are... I don't know if they've played against each other. They may have actually played against each other in one of the off-season events. Either the Zul'jin Distillery Invitational or the WAMF Pleb Fiesta. I think they played in one of those, so they may very well have played against each other aside from NGS. But we're going to see the first game between these two heroes is Battlefield of Eternity, and we are going to see some returning favorites from earlier in today. Based on what we've seen today, what are some of the heroes that you think are likely to come up on a Battlefield of Eternity map there, Munkus?
I mean, if we're going on the fact that the past games might predict what heroes might show up, we're going to see Sylvanas and we're going to see Kel'Thuzad.
So Sylvanas, definitely one of the players that we'll see here. We're also going to see a Greymane, Artanis, Orphea, however, also with the Arthas as well. So let's go ahead and get this started. Let me pop in this game. Yeah, Mega Muffin, I agree with you. Vala, I don't know if you've played her since the patch. She's disgusting. Oh, and with the spell power at 16, Monster Hunter build like into BOE, she is gonna be just, well, monstrous.
Yeah, she is easily, I think, the best hero for race. She got 15% more health, more auto attack damage, more options. She's so...
Yeah, and that spell power bonus at 16 is pretty huge.
Hey, Sylvanas and Arthas.
Yeah. So just as a reminder, these are replay casts, so we're not going to see any bans. We're not going to get the opportunity to go over map bans, player bans, anything like that. We're just going straight into the action. So for Durotan's Couch on the left, the blue team, we've got Captain Wedge, ETC, Sailor Twift on the Sylvanas. Oh, I didn't do the thing. Let me do the thing. There we go. Wild Card on Greymane, Suln on Anduin, and Afish on the Varian. Go ahead and tell us about Bancho.
Bancho has Quinel on Hanzo, Skev 13 on Artanis, Sluggadin on Orphea, Shushel on Arthas, and Bluestein version 2 on...
On who?
Anna.
Gotcha. Yeah, you cut off right at the end there.
I would have loved to see the bans, because Anna going through after bans is kind of surprising, even with the grenade nerfs.
You know what? I bet they did ban Valo, though.
That would be a good choice.
So, interestingly enough, let's start off. Target practice, the pick from Hanzo. I think that they already lose the game.
Could be. This is why I don't super like Hanzo on this map, because you need the W build in order to race. But, yeah, going Q build, it's often the standard, but without the W talents, you have so much less race.
Yeah, for sure. And Hanzo's race was nerfed really heavily. Like, he doesn't have that level 7 ability to reset his cooldown timer anymore unless there are heroes nearby. And realistically, they're just that. If there are heroes nearby, it's because they're defending, and it's going to be very difficult for you to shred that immortal anyway.
Oh, Merc play happening, Bob. Very ballsy considering they're all up. This could easily be a dead man if they get on it. They don't.
Wow. Good power slide coming out of Captain Wedge there to keep himself alive. And that's a I don't want to say a free camp, but it's an early camp for Sylvanas to be able to pick that up, and a minute and a half, so they'll be able to pick up their Shaman camp and get a little bit more value, a little bit more XP out of that.
Interesting choice that Artanis is with the 4-man and Arthas is the top one.
Yep.
Like,
I think that was a good call. That's a good adjustment, because normally you would think that your Artanis would be in the top lane and going against the Varian, but Varian can parry those W attacks, whereas he can't do much of anything against the slowing effects of the well, whatever his E talent is.
Wind or whatnot. The thing is, I think that before 7th or so, when Varian gets the heal talents, at least, I think Artanis would be.
Yeah, probably. And we do see Fury Warrior Varian going those twin blades into the Arthas. And again, I mean, we talked a little bit about this in an earlier game. High King's Quest is not necessarily the best option. So since we've got some time while the Shaman camp is pushing here in each of these lanes, the numbers almost counterintuitively don't actually provide for High King's Quest to be the better damage talent. The Lion's Fang provides more overall value, not just because of the damage, but also because of that full slow for a couple seconds, so you can really stick on a target. The High King's Quest is actually a little bit better for the Colossus Smash.
And she also, Sylvanas with W build. Okay, wait, big fight happening on Red. Stun, Varian gets hit. He is just stunned for days now. Root comes out. That's a good engagement right there by Bancho.
Yep. And so we do see the Hanzo death, Greymane and Varian also going down. And yeah, Kill It and Nerd Rage calling up disagrees with me. Okay. We'll bring that up later, because somebody actually did the stats and found that it actually does a lot more damage.
But
So
Sylvanas going W build. We've seen W build from basically everybody. When you're going for Immortal race, you want to do the Q build for that extra damage against Immortals and winning the early game in team fights.
So one thing that, if you're looking at race purely, the Merc Queen talent does affect the Immortals and other monsters. So that would provide Sylvanas that 30% additional damage against those enemies.
Oh, I absolutely would think Merc Queen would have been the right play here, because the minion camps are so strong.
And we do see Sailor Twift there getting very low, almost getting caught by the swap from Artanis. Probably would have been enough to kill her if it landed, but getting healed up thanks to the Anduin. But now with that Omni Grenade, but it's going to be Artanis going down instead.
Yeah, that was a great combo by ETC. He stunned him right as the stun from the Immortal.
So they end up getting 2 kills out of this. Durotan's Couch getting the fort as well, with the help from the Sylvanas. And the Immortal still has 20% of its health or so, so they're going to be able to get this tower at the very least.
Yeah, they got a decent chunk of value from that. 3 kills to 2. That's interesting.
Yep. Yes, Rodney, we did some very significant testing of that yesterday. Her original talent before her rework added 200% damage to, basically non-structure enemies and non-hero enemies and identified monsters. This talent doesn't identify monsters, but it does work on at least all monsters that I tested, so.
even if it wasn't doing the extra damage to the Immortal, you still would go that because of how strong those camps are and how often you're pushing.
Yeah, and Arthas manages to get away here, sneaks away from that 4-man rotation to the bot lane to try to catch him off guard there.
Yeah, they're getting some great push there. They're going to get the camp, and yeah, I hate to keep harping on it, but with the buffed goats, just imagine how insanely strong this push would be with.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, if they still have that full push along with the camp, but it looks like they're going to come in. Arthas, however, is going to go down, and now level 10's coming online for Durotan's couch.
We've seen a lot of this today. Arthas gets away just fine and safe, and then decides, you know what? I think I left my keys back.
Right. I think my car's running.
Whoops.
Gotta go get that. Yeah, that earlier one on Alterac Pass with the Q kill from Orphea was was definitely a feels bad man moment.
It's like Arthur's completely safe, but no.
So both teams get their shaman camp out. This will favor slightly. Actually, I don't know. I was going to say the red team because of their catapults in the top lane, but there are now 2 camps going in the bot lane.
It definitely favors blue team because of the 2 camps. And,
yeah.
I mean, the catapults are coming from blue into the siege guy, the bruiser. So that'll get cleared relatively quickly.
So Arthas was up in the top lane trying to help clear that lane, but they just rotate up because, by the way, their Immortal, the one that they want to attack, is right here. So they rotate up, kill him. Level 10's coming up here for Ban Cho. So we did see the Cursed Bullet happen there on the Arthas kill. We've got Wailing Arrow, Mosh Pit, of course the Twin Blades from Varian, and his level 10 being the Warbringer talent, interestingly enough, and Holy Word Salvation for Anduin.
I like Warbringer. It's very, good for getting you that dive, and it lets you also get out pretty well if you get swapped by Artanis. There's just not that much value comparatively from Shield. Not in this comp.
So ETC power slides in onto the Artanis, and Greymane diving in on a grenade going out, but Arthas right in the back line there trying to slow things down. But now he's all by himself, and ETC power slides in, does prevent him from getting away, but the salvation just takes too long, and now Anduin has to get out of that Eternal Feast. A good counter ult there coming out from that Eternal Feast. Sure, you may be able to get that full healing out of it, but
you're gonna eat like 3 waves afterwards.
Yeah, and if they time it right with a Dragon's Arrow or something, they could actually get huge value out of that Eternal Feast, but it's not going to matter if they lose other structures.
Again, I don't like the Cursed Bullet is better here than it was in the earlier game because they have 2 front line guys, but still, like, look at your team. You have Sylvanas, Varian, Greymane. You want to be able to secure the kill with Go for the Throat instead of just setting people up with Cursed Bullet.
And so they do get 1% of permanent core damage, but Varian up here onto Orphea trying to get a kill there, but Artanis makes the rotation, does manage to prevent that death.
Yeah, he's trying for a bit of a god swap there, but didn't quite get it.
Black Cat calling in chat, probably calling out my my permanent core damage. Hey, 1%'s 1%, buddy. Games have been won and lost by that 1%.
Oh, absolutely. It always feels bad if you lose a game with the core like 2 auto attacks away.
Yeah. So a full push. We do have the goats coming up here. 5 versus 5 in the top lane. We've got a 13 advantage for Durotan's couch. Swap
this
just
is
missing.
Very risky. He steps out. Is he dead? He's dead.
Yeah, Hanzo a little bit far forward, and ETC punishing that. It's important to note, I don't think ETC's had a single mosh. It's level 14. There hasn't been a really great position for it.
He has to catch Artanis and Anna in the mosh.
Not necessarily. He just has to make sure he's watching the timer on those, right?
True. If he sees the sleep dart come out, then he or the the swap come out, then he can just hit our.
Yeah. ETC is a hero that the more you play him, the more you're mindful of your enemy team, ultimately the better you can get with those mosh pits. And it doesn't require that you channel a 4-second mosh pit. If you get a 2-second mosh pit while the enemy team is trying to dodge you and use their cooldowns and get away, that can be enough to kill him. Yeah, sure. Hanzo Aero 2, which was down at that time, but yeah, it's of course available now. And 13's
I think
online for
Hanzo was also dead at the moment.
He was. That's a dead Artanis with that cursed bullet. There's the Hanzo Aero coming in, trying to stall it, but
Artanis, buddy, you can't go in 1v5.
Yeah, positioning has been a key component to these games today, and there's a power slide into Arthas, but just enough to cause them to disengage. They've got a camp coming in on their core, 3 catapults behind it. This is not looking good for Ban Cho.
Right, they kind of need to suddenly get 5 more heroes to burn down that Immortal, because
yeah, they don't have great Immortal burn. We did get Hanzo, who took the explosive arrows at 4, so he does some additional damage to that, but he doesn't have piercing, so he's not going to get the bonus damage from being able to hit it twice potentially. They don't otherwise have a lot of Immortal burn.
They have amateur opponent, and that's it.
There's the mosh, hits 3, and nothing to be done about it. Sluggan going
5
down.
seconds left on the arrow.
And that's the moment, that's the exclamation mark that you want to make if you're Captain Wedge on this game, shutting it down with a big mosh put to put down the enemy team.
Has Sylvanas won every game today?
I think so.
Sylvanas OP, you guys heard it here first. Let's look at these stats real quick. Wow. Very similar damage done across the board by the blue team, and yet 13 more kills. Hanzo put out a ton of damage, but that was it. They didn't have the extra follow-up with the Hanzo. I don't know if Artanis Arthas was the right way to go, because they didn't have much kill pressure. They didn't have any lockdown. Orphea wasn't able to, she took Feast. What's going to keep them in the Feast?
Right.
And still surprised that Anna keeps getting through today. She got nerfed. She's still very, very strong with the sustain.
Yeah. So we do see. So I've got to set up for the next game here. So go ahead and quit out of this. We'll go to our live page. Everybody can see my wonderful bald head. Also, I do want to showcase here. Let's see. Can I Vanna White this? There we go. In case you did not get this, the glove right above my fist here is the Avengers Endgame poster that they had available here a couple weeks ago at theaters, and in addition to my various assorted artwork behind me. So game number 1, BOE, Durotan's Couch takes it. Game number 2 is going to be Cursed Hollow. And so what would you like to see adjustments made from Ban Cho if you just lost that game? What do you want to see? What adjustments do you have to make sure that you win this next game?
Well, Cursed Hollow is night and day different from Battlefield of Eternity. You go from a 2-lane micro map to one of the biggest maps in the game that's all about macro. You definitely don't let the other team get Sylvanas on this map, given how well she was played in the previous one and how much she did contribute there, especially on Cursed Hollow, where one team can just give up a curse or two and Sylvanas just pushes the other way. I would like to see some really good lockdown from Ban Cho. They didn't have that too much with Artanis and Arthas. I think they need more stuns, more things to really keep the other team from engaging on them so hard.
Yep. Well, so you are going to see some stuns out of Bancho in this next game. You're going to see some roots, but you're also going to see some returning heroes that you're not going to want to see. So let's go ahead and hop into... Oh, I got to update the tracker. 1 point to Durotan's couch. Let's go ahead and hop into game number 2 between Bancho and Durotan's couch on Cursed Hollow.
I don't know if anybody on either of these teams plays it. I would have liked to see Abathur. Oh, and there's a lot.
Not only the Svanus, but the Ana with it.
Yeah, I am curious how they got all of that team. Oriel, Falstad, something. I don't know how I feel about Bancho's comp.
Yeah, there's the potential for a little bit of anti-synergy between those ultimates too. So we'll see if that causes any issues for them as we go into the game. But let me go ahead and announce Durotan's couch here, as we've got Captain Wedge playing ETC, Sailor Twift on Sylvanas, Wildcard on Greymane, Afish on Dahaka, and Suln on Ana.
For Bancho, we have Bluestein version 2 on Sonya, Shushol on Ariel, Sluggadin on Falstad, Scav 13 on Diablo, and Quinnle on the Jaina.
So again, rotation's a little bit less likely on such a large map here. We've got these watchtowers available. There are camps that come up. So, I expect to see the Greymane looking for camps early in the game. I expect, Falstad as well, possibly with Jaina helping out. Falstad did go bribe, so... And I expect to see some Merc Queen action.
We seeing here, Bancho drafted 2 off lanes. With the 1-3-1 standard, but I think I would have gone either Sonya or Falstad. I don't know about getting both.
Nope, they called out a band. Which skins? Oh, the Archangel Diablo.
Oh, yeah, that is absolutely a band.
Was that in team chat? That was in team chat, so that didn't even go out to the other team. I don't know if this catches things like pauses or not. But I don't see anything in chat talking about it, so probably not.
Yeah, probably not.
So Jaina is getting this siege camp early. We see Greymane doing the same on the other side. It's going to be Jaina's side that's going to be a little bit more value potential because the first tribute is in the top lane.
True, which also maybe she wanted to hold off on capping that for a couple of seconds. Because, yeah, it'll get cleared before it is able to do a ton of value.
Yeah, now she's making her way up here to the top lane with Oriel and Sonya to get some push here. Almost catches Sailor Twift enough to get that kill, but not quite. They're going to work on getting this cleared up.
Bruiser's being taken by the blue team.
Yeah, Durotan's couch with Ana and Greymane looking to get this cleared out. I like this play. It gives them that XP. So the Siege Giants got cleared up, so be it. They've got the potential for really significant push, and this is going to be pushing at least in that 30-second window while the tribute is coming up. But Bancho probably has a little bit better timing on this with Jaina and Oriel.
Absolutely much better timing. He is going to be pushing during the tribute. I'm surprised the Giants that were gotten so early, they managed to get a tower down, and they still haven't been cleared.
Yeah, and that's the difficulty of the Falstad and Dahaka, because Dahaka gets, with him being a melee hero, it's a little bit harder for him to push into the Falstad, but he pulls that Giant in, trying to get it cleared by the tower.
Right, and I think the value from Dahaka, if you're going to get value from Dahaka, it's going to be right here. It's the sudden burrow win, getting the stun, and getting it.
Yeah, and power slide on Sonya.
And Dahaka's burrow is a true global as opposed to Falstad, who will have to get in play.
Yeah, lots of damage going out onto red, though, but it's ultimately going to be Sylvanas and Greymane that go down first, so now we've got a 3v5. Not a lot I think that they can do to stall this out. I mean, their tanks don't have a lot of range. They don't have, like, the Diablo or Johanna to be able to do that, so Sullen pulling back, knowing that trying to stall that out would just be dangerous.
This is a much different game than game one. So much map pressure and control by Bancho. Whereas in the last game, Blue Team was just much more able to execute their comp and play.
Yeah, for sure. So Bancho really making a change here and getting that value, getting that pressure, knowing that that's what they have to do if they're going to be victorious on this map. We do see Wise and Duelist out of Greymane, so keep an eye on those stacks. And Sylvanas did go Shadow Dagger at 1 and again at 4, so no Merc Queen coming out this time.
I don't understand why you wouldn't go Merc Queen here. There are 4 camps. They're all very strong.
And Oriel a bit in trouble there, gets the power slide from Captain Wedge. Wedge taking some tower shots to get that kill as well, but with the Guitar Hero practice in the middle there, he's going to be able to heal himself back up.
Bancho, you just give this tribute. It's only the second tribute of the game. Oriel's not going to be able to make it in time. You can, and the Dahaka can immediately burrow up there, whereas Falstad can't.
Yeah, and it looks like Dahaka is electing to stay down here to try to work on the camp. They do get that first tribute now for Durotan's couch, but Diablo charges ETC. Doesn't quite get him into the wall, though.
Yeah, a little far away from the wall.
Might have gotten him a little bit thorny with all those bushes, but not stunned.
Cowboy, ETC, he's used to working in the field.
So Greymane coming over here, working on this siege camp. And
really good timing on it, too.
Yeah, this is great for them. They're going to have this pushing in the top lane while this tribute is active. Not just spawning, but active. And so they're going to have the... however long it takes this team fight. The
problem is that it took them so long to rotate. Anna, what are you doing, Anna?
I guess they're looking to just... yeah, I was going to say, they're going to send Sylvanas up there too, so they're going to just get whatever pressure they can. But look at bot lane still going with that Siege Giant, and it's already at half health. Jane is going to get this tribute with no contest. And now Sonya coming to rotate up here and stall out what she can on this push.
Wow. Sudden ETC, but he gets hit by the global, or from the... oh, go for the throat. Finally, we see go for the... no, not go for the throat, that was true. Oh, well.
So Diablo looks like he's going to make it out. So unfortunately, I missed that death, that first death anyways, in the bot lane because we were checking out this top lane. But like you said, suddenly ETC.
Stage dive. Yeah, it was able to secure the kill on both Falstad and Jane as a result. Stage dive so strong in this map.
Yeah, so Bluestein having to leap out there to keep from having Sylvanas death, or cause her death. And wildcard Greymane gonna get this channel. So a lot of these tributes going essentially uncontested, with the only exception being the first one.
Very odd. Not how you usually see this played. Both teams need to be very careful here, though, as with a fort down and curse up, that can easily snowball into.
Yeah, and it looks like Sylvanas down here starts the boss.
I don't like this.
I don't like it either, especially when you have a Falstad Gust on the other side. If Bancho pays attention to this, they don't have the Sonya.
Diablo! Sniff it out, Diablo. Sniff it out. Go in there, Diablo.
Oh, but he's all by himself unless Falstad did a fly on the other side of that wall.
Oh, man.
Just a little bit too late to catch that boss, so that boss is going to be pushing while the tribute's going, and if they can get that tribute quickly enough, that's going to be absolutely massive in favor of Durotan's couch. But the Bruiser camp still has some minions here, so we'll see probably some structure damage there, but ETC gets the power slide in. Diablo all by himself slowly making his way back, but look at that APOC.
Didn't hit too many people despite how many were caught in it.
Yeah, and that Diablo is going to go down. Falstad goes down as well, so that's 2 deaths for Ban Cho, one of which is coming back up, but here's a tribute, and now your boss in the bot lane, which still has half of its health, is going to get a lot more value.
You have the boss pushing, top is wide open.
Yeah, so they may very well push top, get that keep, and then come back and get the boss, depending on how the rest of those lanes look at that point.
Right. The decently long time left on this curse. They could just take all 3 keeps with it if they play their.
Yeah, the stun into Captain Wedge there, keeping Shusui alive, and Sluggadin also is going to be able to make it out there. It was looking a little bit questionable. The Ring of Frost didn't catch anybody, but okay. Everybody just likes getting down to 15% and then walking away. As now Bluestein and Quinal joined that list.
This is a bit of a problem with Ariel as a healer. Her team is super low, so they can't really go into attack range, but she has no energy to heal them, so
and
she's kind of stuck in a rock and a hard place.
Working on that boss, although Greymane is a little bit in trouble after getting stunned there. And Diablo realizing they're on this again just a little bit later than they needed to be to actually contest that.
Curse bullet comes out, it hits, but it's not going to do anything.
And so now we've got basically once Ana gets here, it'll be 5-man push onto this keep, which is fine because they have a boss in the top lane.
Right, and they're just pushing in so hard. Oh, big stun, but no follow-up.
Yeah, that leap APOC timing was just a little bit off. Bluestein on Sonya, they're gonna go down, and now with a full boss and all 5 of their team up with half of the ults down on the other side, they could very well push for game right here. Although Sylvanas is going to get caught by the ring and destroyed.
Yeah, at this point they're just styling the. Yeah, that's game. Wow, that was super fast.
Durotan's couch showing that it doesn't matter what it looks like early game if you can combo your ultimates together. You can win the long run.
Yeah, I think they just played a better game, to be honest. I didn't see a ton wrong with the comp, except that Oriel has healing issues if you're not constantly diving, and they only took 2 heroes for dive, Diablo and Sonya. Falstad and Jaina don't really follow up dive that well. They're very, very.
Yeah, a little like we said at the beginning, a little bit of counter synergy. They also, I didn't feel like the Sylvanas was as impactful this game as really most of the games that we had today. But as a team, they played with the Sylvanas a lot better, and I think that their timing was just better. I think that was 80% of it. Is that Bancho's timing was just always just a little bit late, not much, just a little bit.
Look at these damage numbers. Greymane and Sylvanas, 38,000, 28,000. Falstad 25,000, and then 13 and 15 from their next 2 damage dealers, and less than 10,000 from the tank and the healer. It's just so small comparatively. They weren't able to get any good engages. They won bottom lane pretty hard early on, but once it started being 5-on-5, they just couldn't keep going forward.
Right. So that's the end of our 3rd matchup, the Div C. C, what was it? East, I think. Yeah, C East. So our next matchup in our replay Sunday is going to be Arrogant Nephilim versus Spooky Ghost. Now, this is the first matchup that was not from Thursday of this week. This was actually, depending on which coast you're on, either very early in the morning or late last night, as it was played at 12:30 in the morning. So, Monkus, I believe you watched this one, so I'll be the one who doesn't know the full details of what's about to happen, correct?
Correct, but I'll try to keep up K5.
All right then. So we'll be back in just a few minutes as we get set up for game number, or I guess series number 4 between Arrogant Nephilim and Spooky Ghosts. Stick around for this one because it sounds like it's going to be an exciting one.